greetings. The trail of corruption leads east, so east we shall go. It seems fate conspires to return me to the plains of Vastiri. The Countess has escaped with the beast. Every attempt to control it has ended in cataclysm. We must pursue her to the plains of Vastiri. We should find the Marikath caravan. Only they can lead us through that harsh and unforgiving land.
Well, sir, we have arrived. The Vastiri awaits. Good luck to you.
This outpost seems to be part of a trade route, so we should be able to find a Marikath caravan. They are an honorable people, and I have no doubt they will assist us. The Marikath have a cultural history deeper than most know. Theirs is a strict tradition, bordering on brutal. But it is that adherence to shared beliefs that has kept them strong when entire empires have come and gone around them. Thank you.
The weary traveler grows close to the end of the path. The bread bowl of the world, the verdant land of 7 waters, awaits! Be sure to have your toll ready at the gates. Cloth, gems, metal wares, and coin are all accepted.
A culture of warriors. Only the toughest survive here.
You are seeking passage on our caravan? We cannot travel anywhere at the moment. Hyenic raiders are harassing the trade route ahead. For the time being, we are stuck here.
I will have to show them what I can do. Destruction!
Up there!
It is done. I should return to the caravan.
You defeated the raiders? Fate sends us a fortuitous stranger. Welcome to the Adura Akara. You may travel with us in exchange for your service as a Jingak, and you will have nearly the respect of one of our own for as long as you stay.
They're nomads, much like my ancestors.
The beast is on the move, twisting the desert as it goes, waking ancient dead and unknown horrors alike. The Countess brought it here as part of some nefarious plan. I assume she has allies here. I must track them down and convince them to give up this madness. Those creatures are too coherent and intelligent to be manifestations of corruption. I suspect that they are the descendants of divine tampering. There was a being I once knew in the ancient days, a trickster, who would have appreciated someone to laugh at his ill-conceived humor. What more perfect audience for a sickening jester than a pack of gibbering hyenas? Move swiftly.
Who goes there? By the sound of your voice, you cannot be Marraketh. You may trade with me, for trade is the lifeblood of survival in the desert, but expect no kindness. Does the scorpion sting carry less poison at night? In the hopes of taking on fighting duty again, I am still practicing the art of the sword. Red-eyed Nassima, she of the second sight, proved that there is more to combat than mere vision. However, there is still honor in serving the role of tradesmith and weapon master. I served as a Dekara for as long as I was able, and I intend to fulfill this duty with just as much dedication. Zarka holds all the wisdom and knowledge of the Adura, and the stories of many other Akaras as well. Our traditions help us survive as these lands turn to dust over generations, and in many ways, that lush beauty still exists for us through her words. Especially now the gods have returned to Rayclast, we know that our beliefs have power. Perhaps we can bring back those verdant forests and gleaming rivers, if only we have enough faith in a leader strong enough to make it real. Sans guide you.
Young one, I have a very long official title, but you may simply address me as Zaka. The young ones will harp on and on about our strict traditions, but I'm old enough to get away with it. So I do. My role is that of a keeper of tales. I was chosen by my predecessor, rather than being allowed to become a Dekara or perform other duties. I'm not permitted near combat, for the stories I keep are one of our most valuable resources. We understand the plains of Vastiri through the lens of these words, handed down to us over the centuries. We see what used to lie where sand dwells now, and hear the bold proclamations and lamentations of yesteryear. That is my role, to be the worldly eyes and ears of the Adura. Nassima, yes, Nassima, a great warrior, though with a complicated legacy. Born with eyes the color of blood, she was left to die among the dunes for being blind. But the Ferryden found her and raised her. A Balbalik, one might think, but no. She became an impressive warrior in her own right. And when called upon to raid her people, she recognized her mother's voice and turned and slaughtered her Ferredin captors. A true role model from the ancient days and a wonderful sleep tale for the children. This is the tale as it was told to me by our Akara's Tale Woman before me, and as told to her by the Tale Woman before her. These words have remained unchanged since the beginning. Many thousands of years ago, we were a simple people, hunters, roamers. We moved valley to valley in search of meat and berries. There was none of the discipline we know today, but that was about to change. These fair plains became barren and lightless. A time those generations called the winter of the world. 1,000 years of ice brought hardship and suffering, but that was only the beginning. To the south, the foreign tyrant An fell, and horrible creatures flooded forth under this darkness, seemingly born of bone and blood and foul magic. Survival meant banding together and creating the strict traditions that eventually became what we know today. To fight was to live. Disorder meant death. In the darkest depths of that era, when hope was but a memory, the twin sister Sekimas, Solarai and Landara, arose to unite our scattered peoples for the first time. They wielded the essence of gold and silver, gleaming with such ferocity that the gray skies had no choice but to give way. The creatures retreated under the sands, never to be seen again, and our fair plains blazed with emerald forests and sapphire rivers. This brought about the most glorious age of our people, a time of conquest, wealth, great heroes, and gods that lasted for another 1,000 years. But then, one fell winter, the gods vanished. Our beloved Garukan was the last to succumb, holding on for 2 moons against a powerful innovation. She gave what final orders she could, mandated our traditions be upheld, and then went silent. The Maraketh were not disturbed. We did not lose hope. We knew who we were, and those values had not left us with the departure of the gods. When the sky burned, when the Vaal fell, when the Eternals came and sought to be our masters, and then fell as well, we endured. We have protected these fair plains for 304 generations, and we will continue to do so for another 304. That is our duty and our birthright. She was a fierce warrior before she was blinded in battle. Focused, determined. Losing her sight has not changed that. I have no doubt that she will become skilled enough at blind fighting to rejoin the ranks someday. Indeed, blind Dekara were once instrumental in decimating an Eternal Legion during a sandstorm ambush. So it is not without precedent. Stay inside.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I care not where you came from, nor what caste you might have been there. All that matters is that you have shown yourself capable in battle, Jingak. Remain a friend to the Ardura, and you shall have nothing but respect from us. So, the beast has entered the world once more. We were following a trail of corruption before we were waylaid, and now we shall resume the hunt. We Maraketh are honor-bound to seek and contain corruption wherever it may be found. It seems the sacred duty falls on us once more. The trail connects to 2 locations, but we don't know where the beast currently resides. I am willing to begin wherever you and your shade thinks is wisest. Foreigners often misunderstand the concept of the Sekima. I am no dictator, and do not make some pathetic claim of divine right. Emperors are for nations filled with the weak-minded and soft, as history has proven every time an empire falls and we endure. I am Sekima, because others have put their faith in me as the strongest and most capable among us. I lead because there is no better replacement. It is a role I deserve, by definition. This Oriana would find no allies among our Akaras. We are no strangers to the eternal war against corruption. If she has allies in this region, they cannot be of the Marquez. After the Beast of Highgate was slain, all other Akaras vowed to pursue and eradicate corruption should it ever return. Never again will a sole Akara suffer the weight of history. Corruption has returned to the Vestiri. Before this season, the Hyanic warriors you fought would never have dared raid a caravan. The dead have begun to rise again, and other creatures of the desert have started changing. By Zarka's accounts, the land is returning to the way it was before. These are ill times. You have your orders.
Slaves? This goes against everything the Ezamites stand for. Why have we stopped?
The Halani gates are closed for the first time in 1,000 years. This can only be related to the beast. We should investigate the Feridan's camp in the halls of Modon and demand answers. Move swiftly.
What could they need so much metal for? You could outfit an army with a mine of this scale.
Quickly. What have you learned? Asala has agreed to aid us, exactly as I expected. The beast represents an existential threat to all the peoples of Rayclast. But even beyond that, she seems to be quite driven. She reminds me of a rambunctious young woman I once knew in Keth, who eventually rose to power, attained divinity, and led her people to greatness. Yes, I have seen the slaves pulling carts. I am uncomfortable with the practice, but from what I understand, it allows those captured in battle to serve rather than simply being executed. There are not enough resources to keep prisoners who do not work. In this harsh land, it is perhaps the lesser of two evils. That is, what I tell myself, at least.
I remember her face from before the battle where I lost my sight. She is quite beautiful, and she has strength and cunning to match. I can think of no better leader for us. We, Adora, have put all our faith in Asala, and though we do not number enough to spark divinity in her, we still thrived under her leadership. Blessings.
Our people have lived in the shadows of the dunes for too long. Countless generations have been forgotten, will be forgotten. We are not Faradin. We are Marquez. And if we work together, if we unite, then they will be forced to acknowledge us. We must show them that casting us off is a mistake. We must show them our strength. Perhaps we can one day rebuild Keth itself. For all those who live in the plains of Vastiri.
Akarui?
You'll burn! 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 Burn!
Slow down! Burn, oppressors! Stand still!
Quickly, break the lock. Winds praise you. 1,000 praises, my friend. I thought I would die here. Please, take me back to your caravan, and I will tell you anything you want to know.
Maybe she knows what's going on.
How can I advise you? It takes courage to go against one's people. I once faced a similar decision. There were men and women like me who believed themselves to be exceptional. And they were correct. Terribly, horribly correct. I cursed myself to a permanent exile from my own peers by betraying them. I was unlike mortals, but hated by immortals. I was alone. I would do it all again, and I still might. They call themselves the Farad'n in this era, but they have died out and been reborn many times. They are not an independent culture. They are the Maraketh's dark secret, the inevitable consequence of life's haphazard nature. A society cannot simply purge itself of the weak, the ill, or the disadvantaged. Those unwanted newborns abandoned among the dunes, they rarely die, no matter how much the Maraketh wish to make them simply disappear. No, they live. The Farad'n are the shadow of the Maraketh, always just out of sight, always watching. They rescue those children and raise them up on the outside, looking in. An unspoken relief for the father and mother that must give up their child. But a gathering storm fated to one day return home with a fury. Do whatever it takes.
I hear you. Publicly, I will decry them as loudly as anyone else. Privately, I understand. I do not condone their actions, but I have suffered some small portion of what they must feel their entire lives. To be honest, I expected them to turn on us eventually. This defector, Risu, will never be accepted by the Adura. You may trust her, and she may provide information about the enemy's intentions, but remember, she is a traitor to her people. We deal with our own traitors using excessive means. She is not one of us, so we do not consider it our duty to punish her, but neither will we protect her when the time comes. Sans guides you.
I know what Jaman-Ra intends. Atop the burial spires of Deshar lie the Maraketh's most honored dead. The king has become driven by madness to seek any trace of ancient flesh from those of renown or power in life. He intends to feed their bodies to the horrific creature he keeps in a cage behind his throne. They call it the Beast. I have seen it, and the sight haunts my nightmares. The Halani gates are closed. Then Jaman-Ra must have succeeded in capturing them. He planned to close the gates to prevent the Maraketh from interrupting his harvest. A siege from the front would be impossible now. But there is another way. An ancient passage lost to time. It was used by the traitor Balbala. I can show you where it is, if you will use it to stop Jaman-Ra before it is too late. I am of the Faridun. We are the shadows of the Maraketh, the unwanted and the forgotten. Some time ago, A foreign woman came to us and offered us the power to take back what was ours. We took her deal. We had no idea what it would cost us. When she finally brought us the beast, it was not the glorious power we'd been promised. It was horrifying. Those of us who did not want to make war, those of us who were afraid of the beast, Jaman-Ra sealed us in the mine when his dreadnought was complete. This madness must end. Some may call me a traitor, but I do not seek the destruction of my brethren. I seek their salvation. You need not trust me. You will see the truth of my information soon enough. I ask nothing of you, only that you do what you know is right. This corruption that plagues the land, I cannot bring myself to fully believe it's the reason for my people's sickening turn. I know that when the beast first came to us, when Jaman-Ra was raised from death, he quickly became covetous and prone to fits of rage. Soon that fervor gleamed in the eyes of those around him. You say it's his corruption, but I have not seen anything in my brothers and sisters that was not already there. Corruption may exist, yes, but it does not fully control. It only excuses. The Faridun are warring against the Marakets because they desire to do so. They have always wanted this conflict. They want to make those who abandoned us suffer. What is that being? Does it travel with you? I would tell you not to trust a mysterious stranger in black, but that would make my own situation rather difficult. I cannot say I view the Maraket favorably, but there is no other power to which I can turn. Jaman-Ra is going mad, and I know that the Maraket will unite their scattered Akaras to confront him if the need is great enough. I believe that it is. The Maraket have no idea how great we number. We are larger than any one Akara by far, and my brothers and sisters hold a great bitterness, even before corruption came among us. Everything we do, from our garb to our food, is made opposite to the Maraket out of spite. I still feel some of that anger when I see them here, standing proud and colorful. Asala promises them a return to their glory days. But do they not have such glory now? I must pursue what I feel to be right. Asala might yet decide to have me put to death, or abandon me to the doom of the desert. I know these risks, but I had to try anyway. If you had seen the darkness rising in the hearts of my brothers and sisters, you would understand. I am not betraying them. I'm trying to save them from themselves. This Oriana, the one you called a countess, Jaman-Ra has declared her our queen. She first came to us from the south and seemed sympathetic to our cause. She promised us power, the power to take back our lives. She left for Azomite lands, vowing to return with something that would resurrect our greatest hero, Jaman-Ra. With that hope dangled before us, the Faridun united for the first time since his death. We prepared, as she asked. We took the quarry. We began working on the dreadnought. I am ashamed to admit that I was a devout believer in the cause, until the day she kept her promise. She did return. She did bring the power to resurrect Jaman-Ra. She brought the beast. The sight of that thing chilled my soul. Those of us who objected to its presence were forced to work, mining and finishing the dreadnought. By the time we were done, madness was already rife, and we were sealed in the mine to die for supposedly betraying our people. Home nights.
So, the outcasts have raised their new king from the grave, and he seeks to violate Deshar, to feed our honored dead to the beast. Such a transgression. Those vile dogs. Our city of the dead lies beyond the Halani gates. We should move to crush the Faridun immediately. Let us see if this defector's information is truthful. Infiltrate this supposed passage, find your way to the top of the gates without being detected, and then call for aid. I shall answer. If her information proves to be truthful, then she will live. If she is a deceiver sent to misdirect us, she will be left to die in the open desert, once again. Fight to the last. Welcome. The Balbalak has her life, for she was truthful. If she also wishes to be accepted here, that will be up to her. For glory.
If you are traveling through Traitor's Passage, there is something I wish to ask of you. The traitor, Balbala. According to the tales, she is still sealed there, somewhere along the tunnel, as an undying djinn. She served her sentence long ago, but knowledge of the location was lost. It is long past time to release her. I will tell you her story if you wish, but I doubt it will mean much to a Jingak. Long ago, when Keth was the shining jewel of the Vastiri, and our trade routes were the envy of the known world, a weak-willed Sekema named Balbala betrayed her Akara for a promise of Welakath, a mythical elixir said to bestow great power. She led a band of foreign warriors through secret paths to the top of the Halani gates. Taken by surprise, the Akara was slain to the last woman. What was her reward? Not Welakath. The bandits put a spear through her gut in that very passage. A cautionary tale, yes. For her betrayal, the wise woman of that era enacted an ancient ritual, trapping Balbara's soul as a djinn for a sentence intended to be 1,000 years. Jingak, it has been far more than 1,000 years. By Zarka's reckoning, at least 2 or 3. The stain of Balbala's betrayal has been lifted from her legacy, yet the knowledge of her prison was lost long ago. Take care.
Young one. Shaman-Ra? That's a tale I rarely tell. Every few generations, the Feridans stir up trouble. Shaman-Ra was their most successful attempt at causing problems. A very long time ago, he spread dangerous ideas among the outcasts and spoke to the Maraketh as if they were equals. His offenses were so great, the Sekemas joined together to approach and rebuke him. The tale says that he was so in awe of the glory of our leaders, he ended his own life and chose to fall forgotten in the sands. It is a strange conclusion to his tale, I must admit. But this is what is told. If he has been somehow reanimated through corruption, he will have only one goal: harming us. Stay in sight.
Greetings. I was asleep during the era of Shaman-Ra. I cannot attest to the truth of Risu's tale, though I cannot say it is outside the realm of possibility. The Maraketh have strict traditions, erring on the side of brutal. Do whatever it takes.
These statues are older than anything I've ever seen.
The traitor Balbala has been sentenced to 1,000 years of suffering as a djinn, bound in this place of her dishonor. Let no woman or man of Maraketh blood enter her prison before her time is served.
I know nothing of these symbols. What secrets lie within? There is nothing just about excessive punishment.
Now, Jingak, I prove myself! Haktaria! Nakai! Kundek! Hey! Hey! Atun! Face me! Kundek! You are... Hey!
Destruction!
Aquaria! Nakai! Hey! You sting like the scorpion. Aquaria! Sun's wrath! Atun! Hey! Nakai!
A coin? What is this? Let battle be joined. Crush them!
Hold them back while I open the gate!
Open the way.
Advance with me! There are 2 more gates we must open! If we can allow the caravan through all 3 gates, my warriors will swarm them under!
Destruction!
Onwards! Give these demons no quarter!
Noxious!
Eh?
You
Shaman,
are unworthy!
how is this possible?
Come get me!
The Marketh will fall by my hand! The Marketh will fall by my... I shall dethrone you, Sycamore, and leave you to the sand! will fall by my hand! I tried to seek peace, and the Sekemas disgraced me! Left to rot in the sand. This time, we choose war!
You receive the death you deserve! And I shall give you another!
We shall finish this! But not today.
Make haste! He must not escape!
He has the beast. I must stop him.
Quickly! He conjures the very sands against us! This is no natural sandstorm. We must battle sorcery with sorcery. Let us return to the caravan and entreat Zarka's wisdom.
The Countess has used corruption to resurrect Jamanra, and they have escaped with the beast. Thankfully, we have some idea what the Faradin intend. We must reach Deshar as soon as possible. I am accustomed to others shivering and turning away when my gaze falls upon them. But I must confess, for once, the feeling is reversed. Although she is blind, I sometimes have the strangest notion that she is looking at me, even at night. You have no idea how much restraint it requires to listen to tales of people and places I knew, yet not correct her. She's close, I shall grant her that. Often startlingly so. In certain details or sequences of events, but the spirit of what happened thousands of years ago, the essence of that life, has been embellished. Yet other times the stories convey only a pale shadow, and the true magnificence is lost. Or is it my memories that have drifted with time? I suppose we shall never know. Because those days are gone, never to return. All that I once loved has been dust hundreds of years longer than you have even been alive. Move swiftly. Quickly.
So, you released Balbara from her prison, and she fought well. Good. She may now earn her redemption. If the ancient places still hold power, her barrier contains her soul. She will tell you what to do next. Risu has proven herself, at least to me. She has spoken only the truth, and I believe she means well. In another life, we might have been fellow Dekara, or even friends. When I face his direction, there is a faint impression. Even the sun does not intrude upon my blindness, so this is a new sensation for me. What am I seeing from your strange companion? Take care.
Jamanra can control the sands? Oh, this was not an ability he had in life. It must be born of corruption. There is something in the tales that could help us overcome such a power. It was said that the horn of the Vastiri could control the winds. I believe the horn's location has been lost to time, but perhaps it is possible that we can reconstruct it. We would have to retrace the steps of our greatest heroine, Orbala, on her final adventure. Speak to Asala. She knows the tale and where it might take us. Let her know how you wish to begin. Or you may seek my wisdom if you have further questions. Ah, you released Balbala, the traitor. Then it is your duty to redeem her soul by allowing her to serve as a mentor djinn during your dance with the scorpion. In modern times, we give aspiring Dekaras a straightforward test. For this task, however, the old ways are required. You will have to face a much deadlier trial. Speak to Asala. The original trial is not far from here, and the caravan is duty-bound to carry you there. Ah, the horn. How to condense a 7-day tale. It was created during Obala's 8th adventure, her final quest before becoming the Sekama of Sekamas. She wrested control of the 3 elements. Her trusty war steed, the great mastodon Ekbab, gave its tusks for the carving and the channeling of lightning. The essence of water was a secret held at the heart of Keth. And primordial fire must be earned from those that originally brought it to Rayclast. We will find them at the Valley of Titans. Yes, those are the 3 elements we will need. This is not the first time the sands themselves have been used against us. The necromancer of Weeping Black, Saresh, once waged war upon the Maraketh out of the nascent desert regions of that era. He commanded not only armies of the dead, but vast roiling storms as well. Hearing of this threat, Obala set forth on a quest to master the elements. And in 3 places of power, she proved herself to the winds. Her reward came to be known as the Horn of the Vastiri. When she drew in a mighty breath and sounded the horn, it was so powerful. Every tent across the entire plains blew open. You can imagine what it did to the necromancer's sandstorms. Seizing their moment, the united Akaras stormed forth to savage the undead armies of Saresh. For this victory, Obala was made the Sekama of Sekamas. And after ruling with strength and cunning for many years, later became our Queen of the Wind, greatest goddess of the Maraketh. Her divine name was Garukan, which means ultimate sovereign. The tales, unfortunately, make no further mention of the horn after that. Each young one is much like another. Ferrodin, Maraketh, what does it matter to an old woman? Others may scowl for letting Risu sit and listen to my stories, but none may order me silent. Do not wander.
Quickly. We Faridun have never had grand caravans. In our preparations, Jaman Ra tasked our people with building one of our own. The intent shifted as madness crept upon him. Soon it became the greatest war machine the Vastiri have ever known. The wish for a better life was gone. Only thoughts of hatred were left. Think carefully. Warm nights.
Ah, yes. The Horn of the Vestiri. I know the tale. The ancient city of Keth, the Badlands, and the Valley of the Titans. We can retrace Orbala's steps in any order. Fight to the last. I am forbidden by the terms of the Third Pact from invoking the right of flame myself. I must send an emissary, as must they. I do not know in what form it will come. Once the seat of power for our people, now a buried testament to a glorious past. We will build a new Keth someday when all this is over, and the Maraketh will shine under the sun once again. That is a promise. That valley of the Badlands, where mastodon bones rot under the sun for all time, is proof that a culture can vanish entirely if the world changes too much. I will not let my people diminish and disappear the same way.
This barren place holds an essence of water. Perhaps it is beneath the sands.
The weary traveler has reached the end of the path. Welcome to the city of 7 waters, whence bounty springs. Behold our lush plains and verdant forests, blessed to feed empires far and wide. Eat, drink, and be fat at your leisure, so long as you take word back to your homeland of the glory of Keth.
What have you learned? Ah, Keth. Now nothing but dunes of sand, but once it was glorious. The waters flowed in patterns crafted by artisans of skill beyond belief. The hanging gardens could impress even the most jaded heart. Time is short. Make haste.
Snake woman! Serpent treachery! I need more time. The desert is a strange and deadly place. Wretch! How could the Marraketh abandon something like this?
Winter deepens, bringing a biting chill. I long for it to snow, for the wonder I felt as a child, to grace my eyes once more. But the last winter that brought such beauty was 200 years ago now. It cannot snow in a region where it does not rain. The city is quiet. The city is cold. The wind whistles through stone columns, unheard by the living. I ask myself why I am still here. I ask myself why I will not let my tired bones rest. And I ask myself whether I truly believe Halani will awaken. I do. I do.
Quickly. Meeting the Adura is disconcerting. Like most Faridun, I was left to die in the desert as an infant. Perhaps someone here is my mother or father. I look at each of them, wondering what my life could have been. If they had wanted me, my people are full of anger and distrust. For reasons I hope are clear. They are blinded by this. Somehow she knows when I am near. She frowns and turns away. I fear no one here will ever accept me. But I cannot go back to my people now. She is the only one willing to talk with me. I could listen to her stories for days. She truly does not seem to care that I am not of the Ardura. Warm nights.
You left a child to die. He holds a new loyalty now.
I was mortal then. I was weak.
Then why did you never come look for me after your ascension?
They told me you had died.
I did die. After 30 years living among the Farad'n, it was a harsh life filled with pain. And I hated you every moment of it.
Can you ever forgive my mistake?
No! Save your breath for when my king arrives and lets the seed feast upon your flesh. My king nears.
Crush them!
Embrace corruption. Sins of the mother.
That wound. How is she still alive?
Immortal. Oh, at last. Please, end my suffering. My followers are long since dust, and I am but parchment. My veins dry as sand. None remember my name, and none think of me. I awoke from my long slumber, unable to move. My time has passed. I ask you, mortal, to use that one element that may finally end me. My opposite. Fire. It must be done. He was not my son. Not the one I knew. Corruption held his mortal soul in thrall, and you have finally given him peace. Some essence of water remains. The last drops to be found in Keth. Death. Thank you.
Rest now.
There was a goddess of water lying at the heart of Keth. I wonder what her role in the past involved. It is my sacred duty to keep our tales, but I know nothing of this goddess. How could we Maraketh have forgotten something so important? Do not wonder.
How does anyone live in this forsaken wasteland? Destruction! Just try it! Join the dead. These tusks are what I seek.
These tusks are truly worthy of Robala's steed. I will tell your tale.
What is this place? The first ones cannot help me here. It's enormous. they are, the harder they fall. Time to make my escape.
This ruby is beautiful and quite haunting. Perhaps it is simply my imagination, but I feel as if there is something staring back at me from deep inside. Impressive, young one. Now we have everything we need to recreate the Horn of the Vastiri. It'll take a bit of carving. I think the flame ruby goes here. Imbue the essence of water with the proper motions. Maybe I'll just tighten that there. Snap that off. Oh, I hope that wasn't important. All right. It's a bit like the original horn. If my fingers were more nimble, I could have done better. This won't blow a gale across the entire Vastiri, but it will serve our purpose. Here, take it. You retraced Orbala's journey, so you should be the one to sound the horn.
Thank you. I am honored.
Quickly.
It is time to use the reforged Horn of the Vastiri to open the way through. Prepare yourself. War is nigh. Fight to the last.
Let the pursuit continue.
I am hesitant to allow you access to Sacred Deshar, but better a single Jingak than an army of spiteful enemies. Our city of the dead must be protected, no matter the cost. You have your orders.
As we approach Deshar, I feel I must ask something of you once more. There is someone I care about. Let us leave it at that. I have learned she went on a lone journey to the spires 3 moons past, and she has not returned. The others cannot know of this, for there was neither sickness nor injury involved. Do you understand? I simply wish to know the truth of what happened, to end the pain of not knowing. If you happen to find Lailuma's body in the dunes below the spires, and if you bring me something of hers, then I will know. If you do not, then no one ever will. Those Maraketh that prove themselves in life earn burial in the sky, but the weak and unfortunate have a tradition of their own. Because they are not allowed to rest above, when they feel sickness or injury taking hold, they leap from the windswept heights of Deshar to the dunes below. Though their bodies will still be lost in the sands, our greatest fear, lying at the base of honor, is the next best thing to lying upon it. You can understand why I was concerned that Lailuma chose to travel there alone. Now the sandstorm is cleared. We have a chance to chase down Jamanra. Though I am not gifted with sight, I clearly see the dangers ahead of us. You must keep your wits about you.
I will show them how a true warrior fights.
Stop poking me. I've already waited thousands of years. What's a few more?
The proving grounds for the Sisterhood is complete. Though it broke many bones and some backs, the triumph is ours to behold. Zarok has been the most helpful aid. He came to us at Tel Jari, but now he is something more.
will serve. We have met in battle, but not in peace. I am Balbala, once a traitor, long a sorrowed prisoner. As Jinn here, I shall serve as your guide. Together, we shall prove ourselves worthy. I have had a great many years to think on my foolish choices, and now all I want is to earn my right to rest. This place was built to determine honor, to prove oneself worthy as a Sekema. Tradition allowed for one Dekara and one advisor. If I aid you here, and if you succeed, then my crimes will finally be forgiven. Then, and only then, may I join those that have gone before. I hardly know the woman I was before. I remember betraying my Akara, but the reasons why now feel petty and small. If I could go back, if I could speak to the woman I was, I would tell her what a fool she was being. Would she listen? Probably not. The mistakes we make are shaped from who we are. The tale women of many Akaras gathered on the day of my sentencing. Death was not punishment enough for my crime. They enacted the ritual, but my imprisonment as Jinn would not have been possible without my willful agreement. I accepted. I let it happen because I deserved it. I have no idea how long I was trapped there, but it was as close to eternity as I can possibly imagine. The role of advisor is strictly bound by tradition. I may offer you aid, but only in certain specific ways. Look to me in your times of doubt. What happened to the plains of Vastiri? The land has changed so much since the time of my imprisonment. There were several desert regions slowly spreading, but it wasn't like this. The Halani gates where I committed my crimes were waterlocks for a river. Now there is nothing but sand and salt flats. How could they have allowed this to happen?
I'm ready.
Greetings.
Power!
Impressive endurance.
Destruction!
Impressive endurance.
Break!
oasis in the desert.
Destruction!
Impressive endurance. Rest a while. I will do. May that serve you. Use that well. Good riddance. An oasis in the desert. Impressive endurance. The foe ahead is formidable. Steel yourself.
Crush them!
Stand clear. Slam! Look out for the slam!
This is proof of my strength.
I knew you would succeed.
Nothing will stop me.
It is done. You are no longer a Jingak. You now carry with you the spirit of a Maraketh Dekara. I am finally free, but I find I do not wish to rest just yet. This place is in disrepair, though it may take another 1,000 years. I must restore it to its former glory. Should you need me, I will continue to serve as your guide here. If you wish to challenge the trial again, find more barriers, more coins. The Jinn within will inhabit this place, much like I do.
The path to Deshar has been opened. Infiltrate the towers and stop the Farad'n from feeding the beast. Time is short. Make haste.
This is a graveyard unlike any other.
Careful story? Ah, Deshar, the city of the dead. In these harrowing times, one could be forgiven for thinking the risen dead live there, if that form of existence can even be called living. No. Long before we had to worry about the dead rising, we built towering spires to return our people to the sky. Our honored dead lie openly, enjoying the sun, not hidden from it under the earth. Over time, they are scoured away, becoming the wind and sand you feel on your skin at this very moment. Deshar is our most sacred monument. I myself will soon make the journey there once I train a replacement. Most do wait for their bodies to fail, but I would prefer to meet death on my feet. Who knows? I may even be the first mortal to win my battle and defeat Nakrata in spiritual combat. It might not look like it now, but I was a rather powerful sorceress in my time. Do not wander.
You found a letter? For your sake, do not speak of its contents. I will burn it. When I have the opportunity, I intend to return to Deshar and mark the location of Lailuma's body. A stone, perhaps. Something inconspicuous. Others will not know, but I will. She will be remembered.
Let these towers stand for all time, so that the sands may never swallow the honored dead. We give you to the sky and to the wind in defiance of the doom of the desert.
You are relentless, but that makes you predictable. The time of the Faradin is nigh.
destruction! Enough trick! A rarity, and all mine.
Greetings. We are out of time. The beast may already be too dangerous to contain through mortal means. The time for all-out war has arrived. Help the Ardura attack the Farad'n war machine before it is too late. Time is short. Make haste.
The Farad'n have assembled a tremendous dreadnought, a war caravan larger than we have ever seen. As we speak, it is barreling through the heart of the Vestiri, leaving devastation in its wake.
My life has been a forge. I am ready for war.
We now have their trail. They will not escape. For glory. The time has come for a final confrontation. We must attack the dreadnought and face Jamon-Ra and the beast ourselves. This must end here. Ready yourself. We must prevail, no matter what.
I will end this, or die fighting.
Give no quarter!
You again. The fool under the Hooded One's sway. Do you even know what he is? No matter. You'll find my king far more capable than Count Gianor. My king, take the power you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
The Sigma of the Ardura. Bow before your king.
Americans do not bow to kings. We skin them.
The Marrakech will pay! The fear of the Farad'n is really pay hate in kind!
Submit!
The Marrakech will pay! We will have what is
Destruction!
ours! The Marrakech will pay! The fear of the Farad'n is now! We pay hate in kind! The Marrakech will pay! The era of the Farad'n is now! The Marrakech will pay! For my people! The era of the Farad'n is now! The era of the Farad'n is now!
our vengeance!
We're running out of time! End this!
What are you doing?
Let the beast go! I don't have time for this! Sand! Bend to my will! Impede my enemies! Forge of hate! The Manicat will pay!
Destruction!
Our gift to you! Blood! Manicat will pay! Take our hate! The Manicat will pay! Take our hate! The Manicat will pay! Blood! Forge of hate! The Manicat will pay! The era of the Faradun is now! Winds! To me! Fall! Damn you! Our gift to you! Our gift to you! Cannot give up! The Manicat will pay! Wins to me! Take our hate! 10,000 spears! I will erase you! The era of the Faradun is now! Forge of hate! We will blot out the sun! Crush them! The Manicat will pay! Take our hate! 10,000 spears! Into dust! Our gift to you! We will blot of the sun! Take our hate! The Marrakech will pay!
Crush them!
I will erase you! 10,000 spears! Our gift to you! The Marrakech will pay! The era of the Faradui will blot out the sun! Our gift to you! The Marrakech will pay! Thousand spears! Take our hate! You will be forgotten! Hate! Our gift to you! To me! Forge of hate! I will erase you! The winds! The Marrakech will pay! Our gift to you! Hate! You will be forgotten! Forge of hate! The era of the Faradun is now! Winds, to me! I will glide. I will not die! Ulasekama! Asala! You have accomplished nothing. Oriana will prevail, and the Faradun will rule the Vastiri!
This is not over. Not yet. Jamandra! I return you to the embrace of death! It is done. The war is over. I have given him an honorable death. This may prove to heal the wound between the Faradun and the Marrakech. Return with me. I must address my people.
Need something? The risen king is dead once again. His tale is yet another tragic outcome of the harsh desert. At least this time, the death was honorable. Asala did this intentionally, and I admire her for it. The Faradun have already begun the process of taking his body to Deshar for a proper sky burial. Asala allowed this. It feels like we could be stepping into the light of a new era for the Marrakech. take care.
Quickly. The Marraket abandoned us, but there is beauty in their strict traditions. They do not have a choice. The desert is a harsh sekema, as they say. Uniting as one people, combining our resources, that is the only way we can all live in peace. Scylla.
My worst fears have been realized. The beast is beyond our means now. Thank you. You're right. I have not been entirely forthcoming. It is time I told you who I truly am. I am a god. I am the thief of virtue. I am sin. And I have failed once again. It was I who created the beast. The seed of corruption that now threatens to grow anew. And it is my responsibility. As it is my creation that once again threatens all of Rayclast, it is by my hand that it must be contained. All I can ask is that, knowing who I am, you still see the importance of our task. The beast has grown beyond our ability to contain it. We must search for something greater than we currently possess, something that can drain its power and bring it back to a more manageable form. While I slumbered under the numbing effects of corruption, there was an empire that mastered the use of that deadly energy. We must go to the jungles of the long-ago Val. Their ruins may yet hold the secrets we need. That is where we must go, to the sunken city of Utsa. It is our only hope.
I don't know much of your history, but all I see is a good man.
I am thousands of years old. I was mortal first, but then I was deified against my will by my brother. But that is a story for another time. I spent my early divine life in Keth. I loved and was loved. I even had a daughter. This shrine depicts them both. They were revered by the Marraketh. Garrikon was the true jewel of the Vastiri, at least to me. Divine love is much like mortal love, at least from what I can remember. And we were happy for a time longer than the lives of many mortal men. The time came, however, when love was not enough. Her humanity sifted through the cracks of her life like fine sand, leaving a divine shell that held her image, but nothing of her soul. It is a trap, you see. Divinity. Faith empowers, but faith also shapes. To gather more power, a god must play the part, becoming more and more the icon their followers perceive. When does perception become reality? It's impossible to pinpoint, and that's the most sinister thing about it. You never know the moment you cross the line. You want the truth? I betrayed her, and had her killed. There are not enough excuses in all of Rayclast to make up for what I did. I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. I thought it was the only way to save humanity. And yet, here we are again, chasing the beast and fighting for the fate of the world. I am beginning to suspect that the cycle of history may never end, unless we surpass ourselves and find another way. But until we do, we will solve this the only way we know how, with violence. Go.
Jaman Ra is back where he belongs. I have given him a proper death. By removing his head, I acknowledged him, though he was never a king, despite what the Ferryden may choose to believe. Those who have survived this war will be given a choice. It would be a waste to kill the Ferryden who have proven themselves in battle. They may choose to be acknowledged, to have a place at the table, or they can remain outcasts. Either way, it is time to write a new chapter. Who knows what the future holds? After what has happened here, the other Akaras must consider joining the Ardura. I intend to be persuasive. Yes, we can take you to the end. Until then, may the winds ever be calm on your paths.